the 7900 XTX versus Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mr. MCP76, and today we're going to see if the 7900 XTX can play this game at 4K above 60 FPS with the settings all maxed out, or are we going to need to use FSR, some sort of upscaling to get us to 60 and beyond? Will we have to use FSR3, maybe even FSR4 to see if it's stable? We're going to go ahead and test that today and see what the GPU can do with this game, again running maxed out here at 4K. The system that we're running is a Intel i7-13700KF. The GPU is an AMD Sapphire Pulse RX 7900 XTX. We've got 64 gigs of memory installed. This is running on Windows 11. All right, just so we can review the settings a little bit here. All right, now initially we're going to be running at native AA with AMD FSR3. The options we have are TSR, Intel XeSS, and AMD FSR3. We're going to go ahead and use AMD FSR3 with no upscaling, so using only its anti-aliasing at native resolution of 4K here, 3840 by 2160. All our settings are going to be maxed out to very high in this case, so we can see what the GPU can actually provide. We'll see, we won't touch the settings, but if we can't get it to 60, we'll actually test the upscaler in the system to see if it can help and retain the high fidelity graphics in this game. All right, so let's get started. So let's start the counter. All right, so right off the bat, it doesn't look good for the AMD GPU here. The 7900 XTX is giving us right now average of 40 FPS or 38 FPS, 40 currently active, but about 38, 39 FPS average. The game looks really good. This is an Unreal Engine 5 game, and so we're expecting to see traversal stutters as shaders load. It does not have ray tracing. Instead, it uses Lumen for its lighting effects. So that's software-based ray tracing, as well as Nanite for the particles and things like that. Typically, Unreal Engine's 5 implementation of Nanite and Lumen is actually really good.
Like I said,
You can see here it looks really good. The light reflects really well off of her. I'm not seeing any...
just turn around.
he is talking a lot. Anyway, it looks really good. The graphics look really good right now. As we would expect with native here, we're not trying to upscale anything yet, right? The water looks great, but we are nowhere near 60 FPS. Mouse movement is fairly good. It is a little juddery, which I guess could be expected, right? I mean, we're running under 60 FPS, we're just right at 40. So mouse movement is not as smooth as you would get like at 60 FPS. That's why we try to aim for 60 FPS. Again, we're gaming here on a 4K monitor at 60 Hertz, but we have a VSync and any kind of frame limiter turned off, so we can see what the GPU can actually do in this game. All right, let's go ahead and adjust our settings. Again, it does not look like we're going to get anything more than really 39 FPS, 40 FPS right now in this particular scene. Okay, back in the settings, and now we're going to go from native AA, and we're going to go to quality here with AMD FSR3. We'll see what that gives us. The nice thing about this game too is it gives you this indicator here to show you what your setting selections are going to do to the system. So right now you're seeing the CPU response time is about 3 milliseconds. GPU is about 15 milliseconds. So we are, as you would expect, GPU limited here in this situation, not CPU limited. And then frames, 16 milliseconds. So that's going to give us 60 FPS here. So it kind of does the calculations. And you also get to see how much memory it's using. So that's also really helpful for those of you on lower VRAM cards. You'll know if you're getting close to 16 gigs or even 8 gigs if that's the card you're running. But let's give this a try and we'll see what it looks like. All right, we're back in the game. So that pretty much doubled our FPS. Senua's hair looks still good, I think. Pretty good detail. Movement is definitely smoother, less jittery. I haven't seen any stuttering yet, but with the 40 FPS average we were getting before, it was definitely a jittery experience with the mouse movement, but no stutters, nothing that I would consider a stutter. Grass looks fine. Again, this is FSR3 quality right now. The detail in the wooden planks here, I can see some shimmering. Yeah, definitely some shimmering right there that I did not see with just AA.
I thought your father protected these people. He does. Did. You can't protect people from their own stupidity.
This is kind of one of the more difficult areas to run with the lighting situation, the water reflections, and the volumetric clouds there with the steam or fog. And you got a lot of fine detail there. I am noticing a little bit of, not so much shimmering with that wood over there as just a little bit of instability with those sticks that have been lined up as a fence. But again, I think the biggest issue here is right now is just these planks. They do seem to be a little bit unstable and shimmery as I'm walking across them. So again, that's with FSR quality. Let's go ahead and set our settings a little bit, or upscaling a little bit more aggressive. We have hit 60 though, so at this point we'd be just going for additional FPS for smoother gameplay. So let's go to balanced. Balanced is going to, looks like it's going to get us into the 70s.
Meant for her. She knows she must do something.
High 60s. I would expect probably could get to the 70s pretty easily. Yeah, the shimmering is even worse now on these planks. Very noticeable. The water still looks good. Those branches there being used, those sticks being used for the fence are a little bit less defined. They seem to kind of shimmer together. Water still looks good. And her hair, clothing, I think is still pretty good. And again, this is going to be at balanced. FSR3 balanced. Yeah, not too bad. And yeah, we're hitting about 70 average right now, 61 1% low and 51.1% low. So pretty good, pretty good. Again, though, I mean, that's definitely more and more problematic. It looks like the more aggressive our upscaling goes. All right, let's go ahead and push it a little harder, see what we can get. Can we even get to 100 FPS? Okay, so that was balanced. We're going to go ahead now to performance. This is going to put us at 1080p. 1080p internal resolution. I'm noticing like down at the bottom there, her hair is getting a little, I know it's moving around a lot. I guess it's getting a little blurrier. The planks are, yeah, much worse. Like even without the effects of the sunlight on it, you can see definitely a lot. I don't know if it's going to come through on YouTube, but it's definitely a lot more shimmer in these planks over here. It's getting harder and harder for the game to really run this effectively. But FPS wise, we're now in the 80s for average. These planks are they in the sunlight, instead of being nice and sharp and crisp, they are now just blurry. And this is again at performance. Those branches over there, they're really, I mean, let's see if I can use her focus. See, there's some shimmering around the edges of those branches. Overall, just not a very clean image. Reflections, the water and the fog. The steam rising off of the water seems a little bit more I mean, it's Steam, so you would expect it to be a little blurry, but there's a little bit less definition, I would say, in the Steam. Let's go back up in this direction, kind of take a look at some of the vegetation around here. Again, at 78 FPS average right now, the gameplay is pretty smooth, but I'm not sure I would want to push it this hard. The grass right now, down on the ground here, they've got like a sizzle to them. You can kind of tell that the game is just haphazardly rendering them now and just throwing it together. Probably not as sharp as it could be. Again, this is one of the more difficult scenes to run. There are a lot of difficult scenes to run those in this game. At the beginning of the game especially, you're going to see your FPS, if you're running native with this GPU, you're probably going to see your FPS down in the 30s, if not lower. Let's kind of reset ourselves back over here. All right, so let's go ahead and we're at performance now, and now we're going to take it to ultra performance. This would be 720p. Okay, so we're at 720p internal rendering, upscaling it to 4K, and yeah, that whole thing just shimmers now. And as for Senua's hair, yeah, I could see shimmering now in her hair as well, especially down at the bottom where you can kind of see her jacket through it a little bit at certain times. Not as sharp anymore either. Yeah, and there's a lot more shimmer to those branches over there. Although FPS now is in the mid to upper 90s. I'm currently getting 100 FPS here with a 95 average. So if you really wanted to push it this hard, you could certainly get there with the 7900 XTX anyway. Can't speak for the other GPUs, the lower end ones or mid-range ones, but the 7900 XTX can get us just about to 100 FPS here, perhaps not with the visual fidelity that we would want, right? So this is a little bit of a mess for it, and I would expect that it probably would, yeah, I mean, that's pretty bad. I would think this would just get even worse. Like you can tell, this is now a resolution issue as well as an upscaling issue. It's just very blurry. All right, but like we said, we're also going to see if if we can get FSR4 working in this game via OptiScaler. For OptiScaler, this is available with Radeon 3 cards with FSR3, and this game comes with FSR3 native support. So let's go ahead and see if we can get OptiScaler going. Okay, FSR 4.0.2 is now running in the game. Let's go ahead and get these settings back. So since we're using FSR4, we'll try native AA again with the system. Oh yeah, she's much sharper. Hair is very sharp now. This is again FSR4 at native AA via OptiScaler. Let's see what the frame counter is going to give us. So right now we're looking at about 40 FPS average at the moment. Try to run through a couple of areas and see what kind of difference it makes. Water and steam look great. We'll move up into this area, kind of check out that grass area again, see how we do. Oh yeah, the grass is much more stable now. I don't see that shimmer. I can literally see the individual grass blades moving in here. Very well defined. But again, this is FSR4 native, so there's no upscaling going on at the moment. So you would kind of expect and hope that the system could run this pretty well, or graphically it would look, the fidelity wise, it would look the same, right? Still got that high quality to it. Let's go check out the bridge again, just make sure we're not seeing any artifacting there. Even from here, I could already tell it's stable. Yeah, there we go. So I can see the sun shining on it. Looks stable and clear. I'm not seeing any shimmering, or at least not like before. So far, so good. All right, so that's FSR4 Native AA. Let's give it a try with quality. All right, running quality now with FSR4. Hair still looks very well defined. Not really seeing any blurriness at the moment. The dirt and sweat on her face also looks good. It's just looking sharp. FPS is about 60, which I believe is the same that we got with quality with FSR3, but we'll see if graphically if it looks better. Let's go take a look at the bridge again here as we approach it. Now remember with quality FSR3, we saw shimmering already, a little bit of shimmering with the bridge. And here, no, maybe just the way the light is moving on these planks and the way Lumen is handling that, but I'm not seeing what I would call shimmering or anything like that with those planks, and they still look nice and sharp. Let's go check out the grass again there. Let's see if those are being rendered properly. Yep, I would say so. We've got a pretty good detail there with the grass blades, the dry, dead grass blades anyway. Averaging still 62 FPS. See some mouse movement is just fine. I am noticing here, so I'm noticing right now that I'm kind of testing here as I'm moving. There's a little bit of graphical issue with rendering the grass. I saw a little bit of almost like a blurriness to it, but that was quick and you probably won't see it if you're not looking for it. Again, everything still is moving really well. So we're about 60, 61 FPS average here. And again, this is with FSR4 quality. So let's go ahead and push FSR4 and see if how the image holds up and what kind of FPS we get with it. So we'll go to balance now. Okay, running balanced. Let's see, get some light on her hair. The ends there are not as well defined any longer, but still sharp, still sharp enough. Face looks great. Clothing. The fog is still, that steam still is pretty sharp. And the water reflections and water colors and so forth look great. Not seeing any artifacting there. But let's go ahead and try to approach this bridge from the sun. Just looking at the bridge right now, it's holding up really well. I would say better than balanced was. Yeah, it's definitely night and day difference with FSR4 versus FSR3. This bridge looks really good. Those branches over there, as I'm moving, I'm not really showing any, not seeing any like odd flickering stutter or shimmering or badly rendered image there. Let's go check out the grass. Yep, grass still looks good. Previously, I think the last time we checked it was with FSR3 when we were on performance that we really noticed any issues with the grass. But even now, right now, this is it's very stable, very stable. Really impressed with FSR4 here. AMD has got to get this thing out officially so we don't have to jump through these hoops to get the software installed, guys. Come on, AMD, just let us use it. Give us the warnings you want to give us about overhead and image quality not always being the best, and let us pick which one we want to use. But again, the image looks great. This is with FSR4 quality. Oh, FSR4 balanced. I'm sorry, FSR4 balanced. So let's now go to performance. Now this is again 1080p rendering internally now for the game. And with FSR3, we saw issues, some major issues graphically with this setting. So let's see what FSR4 gives us. Yeah, that shimmer is starting to move into the bridge now. And this is again with performance. It's still holding up much better than FSR3. FSR3 was basically falling apart on this bridge right here when we were under performance. So it's not perfect anymore, but we are on performance upscaling. So, like, what do we expect, right? Fog is starting to get, the steam fog is starting to get a little softer there. I'm not seeing as much definition. Water still looks good. Let's go check out the grass over here. Her hair also is, yeah, it is blurrier. We'll take a closer look at that in a moment, but it does look like it's starting to affect that. All right, so now with performance, when we're moving, I do see a little bit of shimmer. You can detect some shimmering in these grass blades as we were moving up to it. I could detect that, but not again, not as bad as it was with FSR3 performance. This is impressing me. Like I could see myself running this performance if needed, and it's getting us near 80 FPS right now. And depending on how sensitive you are to some of these artifacts, maybe you would agree or not. I am seeing more shimmering now in those sticks over there that make up that fence line. But again, we're at performance now, and I noticed that significantly earlier in the upscaling methods with FSR3. Let's move around this bridge. Again, not 100% stable, but night and day difference with FSR4. This is more than passable. Let's take another look at her hair. Yeah, the hair still looks great. A little bit of softness to it. Not as well defined as it was with native, but again, you're upscaling, so you're gonna lose some. But with 4K here, we have enough pixels to really give FSR4 a lot to work with, and it's using it well. Performance-wise, again, we're in the mid upper 70s, so 76 FPS average right now. GPU utilization 90. CPU utilization is up to 30, 36%, 38% even. That is expected. Again, the higher the upscaling goes, the more computationally intensive it is on the CPU side. As it, again, it's rendering right now at 1080p, so the GPU really that's not going to be a lot of heavy lifting for it, so it's waiting on the CPU now. All right, let's go ahead and adjust the settings one final time to ultra performance. Again, with ultra performance with FSR3, we had a lot of issues. Let's see what FSR4 gives us. Again, rendering internally at 720p, so that blurriness is back like we saw with FSR3, but still, that shimmer is basically gone. It is a wee bit of shimmer. I mean, I'm just at this point, I'm nitpicking. I would call this solid. Same thing with those branches over there as we're moving. Could see some. They're not perfect, right? They're not perfect, but we're seeing that at ultra performance instead of quality, whereas with FSR3, we saw that at quality. So this is quite the improvement. FPS now averages in the 90s. Yeah, the grass is having some trouble. Yeah. I'm not sure if you can see that through YouTube's video compression, but I am seeing it's almost like a shimmer moving through the grass where the upscaler is having trouble determining where one blade ends and the next one begins with rendering this at 720p right now. Sorry, ultra performance is at 720p internal rendering. So yeah, we've pushed it hard enough to where it's getting some difficulty with individually showing these grass blades and definition within them. Her hair is, with the sunlight, yeah, much blurrier, and I think I even detect a bit of a shimmer there. Let's see, stop turning, I want to see. Okay, face smoothed out too much, I think. That grittiness, she's not happy I said that. That grittiness, that sheen from the water and sweat seems to be missing now. But FPS is in the 90s. So if FPS is what you're after with the 7900 XTX, it is doable. I would recommend in this case FSR4 just to maintain that visual fidelity, that quality, that remove that shimmer. So yeah, so pretty good. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get us to our conclusion in this video. So right now, the 7900 XTX unfortunately does not get us to 60 FPS at native 4K. With this game set to very high, so everything maxed out, the 7900 XTX was basically in the 30s and so not unplayable, but a bit stuttery, probably not recommended. It's a slow-paced game though, so to each their own. You might find that more that adequate to avoid any of these artifacting and keeping this game looking beautiful. But again, the 7900 XTX falls to the game. The game takes this one with a win, as the GPU could not deliver 60 FPS. When it came to the upscalers, FSR3 is the big loser in this one, and the 7900 XTX, while it was able to generate significantly higher FPS with FSR3, I think we hit 100 FPS on ultra performance, but the quality significantly dropped off at the even after I would say it started dropping off at quality. I think I started noticing some shimmering, and after that, with balanced, it was just basically a worse and worse, progressively worse mess. With FSR4 using OptiScaler to get it running in the game, FSR4 takes the big win if you're looking to get at or above 60 FPS with the 7900 XTX. It was a strong performer here. It gave us really sharp images. Shimmering was kept to a minimum until we really pushed it hard into ultra performance with FSR4, when we started seeing some shimmering in the grass and in some of the branches in the distance on that that branch wall over there. So FSR did a great job here. Definitely got us into the 60 FPS range with quality, and from there on we were seeing 70, 80, and now at 90 with FSR4. So really good showing there. So there you have it, 7900 XTX versus Senua Saga, Hellblade 2. Great looking game, and it held up. The GPU did its best as it could at native. With FSR4, we had a big win here, guys. If you have any comments, suggestions, anything you want to post below, I'd be happy to see it. Go ahead and comment, and if you like to see more content like this, also subscribe and like the video as well. That'd be great. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Mr. MCP76. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.